Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So please continue to pray for my sanity, my career, and my meeting the right partner in my life, and also good health by leaving a dislike on this video. Things are kind of going a little bit overheated at the moment. I'm recording this on Sunday. Today is the first day of fall. And I had a rough week last week, and I want to make sure I don't repeat the same mistake again. Last week on Monday, I had gone to the office and I was utterly surprised it was Monday. I was already burnt out. Couldn't wait for the weekend. It felt like it should have been at least a Wednesday or a Thursday, but it was Monday. And so I swore this weekend I was going to take it easy. Well, it's easier said than done. I'll get to that in a second. On Wednesday, I teach a morning class on Wednesday, and I had hoped to go into the adjunct office to listen to some music before the class. And normally that would not be a problem, but one of my office mates decides to show up for some reason. I don't know why. I rarely see him. Usually I only see him in the hallway a couple moments at a time. At best, he comes into the office to print some material, goes to the printer, and that's it. But he decided to hang around the office, and I just got a very disgusting feeling about it. I don't dislike him. I didn't dislike him. After that incident, I just feel very grossed out every time I see him. Not because of any of his wrongdoing, but I was just already very stressed out. I had hoped to go into the office. I have a speaker that I found at a secondhand store. It's a surround sound. I had hoped to plug it in and listen to just disappear for a moment. We have very good acoustics in the office. You guys have seen that office. It's got glass all around. If you close the door, it's got really good acoustics for that kind of stuff. I had looked forward to that, and he interrupted that. I closed my eyes and imagined myself beating him up. I really did. That's how stressed out I already was. And to give you an idea how stressed out already, not only did I do that, he was drinking a coffee, and he was so focused on whatever it was on his computer, and I kind of fantasized about putting something nasty in his coffee, especially something that I could turn my bismuth into if I had a nuclear reactor at home, right? I kind of closed my eyes and fantasized about that because I was stressed out. And the weekend comes, but it's not like I want to slow down anymore. You got to remember part of the reason I got myself. Let me show you some of the art that I've been doing. Part of the reason I got myself so involved with my art project is I was working at another job, and I felt like a slave. I felt like I didn't have any say on things because I needed that job in order to eat, right? So, for example, even at the jobs that weren't so toxic, I still felt like a slave. I was teaching at another community college. We were negotiating contracts, and I would feel like, my God, this might not be the ideal class I want to teach. And if I take it, I won't be able to teach something else that might come up that might be more suited toward my career. Do I want my career better, or do I want to eat tomorrow better? Right. A lot of times, I ran into dilemmas like that. Right. I don't have to do that anymore. I was working at another school in Seattle when a lot of times, well, the job was kind of toxic to begin with. I had a difficulty one semester where my paychecks kept coming late, and they would be incorrect and stuff like that. And now looking back at it, I think I was teaching at Washington Technology University. I kept getting the wrong amount on my paycheck. The checks would come late. And at the same time, I would be ready to sign the next contract. And there was always this implied threat that if I don't sign the next contract, they're not going to work. They're not going to fix my paycheck and stuff like that. And at the time, I really needed that next check in order to eat, in order to sleep. And it created a sense of imbalance in that negotiation. Ever since I began my art career, I no longer have to worry about that. But unfortunately, it's caused its own set of stress to the point that I'll want to close my eyes and fantasize about killing people Not that I haven't done that before. I've always done that, but it was much more acute last week. I got to resolve my differences with that colleague. After all, he's not bad. He just interrupted me at the wrong moment, and a lot of times that's usually how bad blood starts in the office. So I'm gonna have to think hard about what I do the next time I see him in order to keep some balance in my life, right? I don't know. Maybe last Wednesday I could have even asked him, "Do you mind if I turn on some music? I had hoped to listen to this before class today." Who knows what would have happened at that point, right? It certainly beats closing my eyes and fantasizing about killing him, about putting something in his coffee. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.